They'd like us talking.
Go ahead.
Nobody's eating it but her, so she was.
All right, let me see here. Got the Apex Turkey 2. This is Chris Jacks. I told him I wanted to borrow it, but I did call JD. He is going to send us another one. Supposed to put it in the mail today.
Yeah, my internet's not working.
Mine was.
And just now finding that out.
No, it's on my phone.
But the iPads are working.
Yeah,
So are we live?
you're live.
Sound check. Randy Walls. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Randy Walls. Sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He probably can't hear. I ain't gonna say why you can't hear, Waldo.
He might be in the kitchen cooking up something.
Or he's out the neighbors cooking up.
You hard on Randy.
Hey, I got to be. Did you get it going, Jen? Okay. Don't know yet. She's having a little Wi-Fi trouble.
Let's get this stuff where I can get to it. All right. My camera keeps going off over there, and I keep looking for something to do.
All right, Janet, give me the thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay. Well, I heard that.
I did too.
Yeah, we're ready to roll.
All right.
All right. We got a little less than 2 minutes.
And we got a frost advisory tonight.
I saw that. I know. It's gonna be cold in the morning.
You say a frost advisory tonight?
Yeah. Supposed to get down to 36.
All right, Randy Walls, if you listening, can you hear us loud and clear?
He just said sound is good.
Sound is good.
Awesome.
What we want to trash Randy on today?
I ain't met Randy. I'm gonna have to meet him.
T-Bone is full of BS.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. No, he knows. He knows the truth. I just wonder what he has to pay them neighbors bringing food all the time.
That he post on
There's
Facebook he cooked.
There's a hidden cost somewhere in there.
Not bad.
No, you can tell when his neighbors cook and when he cooks. If he cooks, it's going to be half a slab of onion on there. If his neighbors cook.
Robert and Cindy Till are on.
Okay.
They said, good evening, been waiting all day to tune in from Oklahoma.
And Robert, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, we was going to give you a shout out. I hope you're out of the hospital and I hope everything is good.
We talked about that earlier. Everything is.
We sure did, because I've been writing on there every time your wife posts something, and I hope you're on the mend, brother. I sure do.
I don't know what happened, but I hope.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I know he's out in Oklahoma. It's in bow hunters of America.
I just
a lot of good.
Back from Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah. I was out there at the
I mean, it's a lot of good
Ingersoll Ranch.
Good hunting out there.
Got back from Ingersoll Ranch.
See any critters out there?
Really just fell trial. We had quail. That I really didn't see anything.
Yeah. All right.
Other than quail.
We time to go. Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony Landreth.
I'm Bubba Spencer.
And I'm Keith Haywood.
Hey, we want to welcome y'all to another Tennessee Outside Facebook Live show, coming to you live from the Dr. R.E. Wilhite building right here at the Hardin County Agribusiness Center in Bolivar, Tennessee. And as we always say, if you hunt and fish in Tennessee or you plan on it, which with turkey season coming up, I know a lot of y'all are planning on it, but this is the show you need to watch. We try to keep you informed. And trust me, this year's turkey season, it has been a lot of stuff going on. That is for sure. Hey, I want to remind everybody, too, we will be taking questions tonight. And Janet is on cue over there because tonight we're giving away this Parrish Elliott Tennessee Outside call. And Janet, turn around, show the other side. It's signed by the entire Tennessee Outside staff. It comes in a little black bag. It's got Deception Outdoors on it, and a striker comes with it. And everybody that has made a comment or asked a question for the last 2 months, you're in the drawing. And at the end of this show tonight, we're going to give this away. It's only 6 of those made. That is it. And the rest of the Tennessee Outside crew, Parrish, give us one, and we're giving one away. So
yeah, you spend quite a bit of time
right now, aren't you, watching her do that?
Yeah, because I know what happened to mine. Mine just barely fell off the table and broke it.
Yeah, don't throw it on concrete.
That's right.
Yeah, that's for sure. But we are giving that away tonight at the end of the show. And I can't tell you what next we're going to give away because we really don't know yet. We got some things working. I did talk to my buddy Brian Hartford today with Crappie Addicts. The hats, you saw the hats he's got. I mean, I love the way they wear. And he's going to try to hook us up with a vendor on that where we can get some. And, of course, we'll stock up with them. But then we're also going to give some away, too.
That would, everybody loves a good cap.
Yeah, and those are good caps.
And you got the address for the gentleman on for last week.
Well, I told him to. Kenneth Darling.
Okay.
Of course, he's from.
Mr. Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth's on there.
What was he? He was. How close?
He was 3/8 off.
3/8 off.
Yep, sure was.
What a look.
Yeah, but I tell you what though, it was a lot of folks within an inch and a half.
Yes, it was.
Which was
it was.
That was a hard deer to score too. That was pretty impressive.
But it was a lot of scores from 145 to 149, which. And the thing is, when you're looking at something on a picture or a video and it's not in public, it is hard to score.
Yeah. And you know how pictures are. You can make a deer look bigger or smaller.
That's right.
Depending on the angle of the picture.
Yeah. And my favorite one was still the guy that got in there and said 1. Like the price is right.
Yeah. I think that was our buddy Bert Bishop. I think did that.
That's not a bad strategy.
I
it didn't work out.
But
not a bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad strategy.
No joke. But, Keith, let's give a shout-out to our sponsor real quick.
Absolutely. We have the Apex Outdoor Rewards. That's our premier sponsor. With Deception Scents, Baker Glass Shop, Second Amendment Outdoors, Big Hill Pond Boat Sales and Repair, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, Snipe Creek, Lyndhurst Family Resort, Prime One Camo, Three-Way Processing, Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services, and as always, Brian Hartford, big shout-out to him and the Crappie Addicts Facebook page.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Okay. What's up, Greg Chase? He's part of the Deception team. Just texted me.
Sir.
He's watching
us.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, he's our bear expert. So he said he'd put all of us on a bear, didn't you, Greg?
Man. He's talking about putting him on the spot now.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's on right now.
Yeah, I know. He just texted me.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Where does he live?
I think he told me Newport, Tennessee, over in East Tennessee. Yep.
He needs to come to a show one night.
Well, I told him that too. He's welcome to come. Yeah. Hey, want to give a shout out to the Facebook groups, and I mean, this seems to get longer every week, but we greatly appreciate all the Facebook groups that let us share to their page, because I mean, it helps get us out there, and I mean, some of the comments that we get, and I mean, just like Robert and Cindy Teal from Oklahoma, and I mean, Bubba, we get a lot of people from different states.
Oh, all over.
That watch us, and I mean, I've had some that said, man, I wish somebody in our state
would do something.
Would do something like this.
Because we do mostly Tennessee.
We do. Yeah. But, I know we have a lot of Kentucky viewers, and I know a lot of that is because of CWD, because it's right there at their back door. Luckily this year there was no new counties added and none up that way found, but just give a shout out to the Facebook groups. We got Kentucky Whitetail Hunters, established August 2015. West Kentucky Deer Hunters, Do a Country Jig with Billy Bates. Pickwick Lake Anglers, Crappie Cats, Bass and More, Gamekeepers and Food Plots. Pickwick Lake Fishing Reports, Turkey South. Backwoods Hunting and Fishing. Wildlife Hunter Association, WHA. Whitetail Snipers, Feathers and Furs, Camo Thug Outdoors. Blumpville, Tennessee Deer Hunters. Back to the Roots Outdoors, Down to Earth Hunting, Randall Haley. Tennessee Turkey Hunters, Hatchie River Fishing, Hatchie River Bank Poles. Middle Tennessee Coyote Hunters, Tennessee Small Game Hunting and Fishing, Tennessee Outdoors and Hunting, Hunt Swaps of America, Tennessee Hunting and Fishing Report, Tennessee Outdoor Info, Hunting for Connections, Southern Boys 870, True Hunters and Anglers, Bow Hunters of America, our biggest group. About 235,000 now.
Wow.
Tennessee Rivers and Lakes, East Tennessee Deer Hunters, Real West Tennessee Sportsmen, Tennessee Valley Sportsmen, Tennessee Bow Hunters, Tennessee Turkey Hunters, Tennessee Woods and Waters, and West TN Deer Hunters. We appreciate all of y'all for that.
And also, if you get a chance and you're a YouTuber, go to YouTube.
Yes.
Find Tennessee Outside. Hit that subscribe button.
That's
It'll be on his page.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, also, we do a few things on the YouTube that we don't do here. We do little short clips.
That's
where
right.
we really get into a short little discussion in depth on one little topic.
And Janet will post them the Wednesday morning after we do this show. We pre-film the Tennessee Outside short clip, and we did one tonight, and you'll see what it is tomorrow, but we're going to do that. And then also Janet posts this show on YouTube, and what we're trying to do, Bubba and Keith too, is get our subscribers up,
Right.
because our goal is to be able to go live on YouTube. We've had so many people ask us about it, but we just need the subscribers to go on there, and then that way we'll start going live on YouTube too.
At the same time.
Yep, sure will.
Let's grow it all together.
Yep, that's exactly right. Hey, and we also want to give a shout out to, we did to Robert and Cindy Teal, but our buddy Larry Muse. Larry has been on our show twice now.
Twice. One of our
most memorable guests we ever have.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
full of catfish knowledge. Larry was
impressive individual
into the Catfishing Hall of Fame. And I guess it's okay if we say it because it was posted on Facebook yesterday, but he's having some medical stuff go on. And Larry, just want you to know, we hope everything turns out for that. And we're praying for you, brother.
Praying for Larry.
Just want you to know that, because we want you to come back on the show here pretty soon, because, I know that some of the catfish tournaments are already starting to ramp up, as all tournaments are. But we do want to, just give you a shout out on that. In this next topic, Bubba, I hate it. Seems like, just make about 3 weeks in a row, but we've got a missing boater up on the Tennessee River right now.
Below Pickwick now.
Sadly, he's from right here in our county that we're doing our show from. And was it last Thursday he went missing?
Afternoon, yeah.
And he still has not been found yet. And I don't know, it's heartbreaking. And it's like, you brought up a point, Bubba. It's not just for the family and all that, but for the other people involved.
It's hard on the people searching. It's hard for people that just the whole.
It's a ripple effect.
It's a ripple effect that affects a lot of people involved when we have.
And the thing is, it affects people in ways that the majority of people never get to see.
That's true.
And it's a good thing they don't get.
That's true.
They
don't exactly.
And it just kind of validates, that well, it won't ever happen to me kind of situation, and it can.
When we preach safety, boating safety on here, it seems like almost every week.
As much as we talk about CWD and turkey season.
I guarantee you.
I mean, in deer season, not turkey season.
As more and more boats get out there, let's just be as safe as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Water.
Just keep putting the seed in. Just keep planting the seed, and hopefully, if one
That's
or
right.
two people listen and maybe say.
I mean, if one person will put that life jacket on and it saves their life,
it'd be worth it.
That's right. You saved your family from a lot of heartache and misery.
Absolutely.
And speaking of heartache and misery, I got to mention just what's going on in Nashville.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, and it's sad for the people that lost, loved ones, and it's sad for the, I'm glad. I used to work in law enforcement.
I was in EMS.
Just like Bubba and you with the EMS, it's just sometimes you got to face what's going on, or it's going to be a whole lot worse. And my hat's off to, Metro Nashville cops.
Praying for those guys.
That's right, because
their courage. That I know a lot of people have probably seen, as I have today, the body cam footage and the courage these gentlemen went into that school system, ready to de-escalate.
That's right.
That situation was
because we've seen other tragedies where that did not happen,
right,
and we saw the results of what happened for that.
So prayers to the families and just the whole Nashville
everyone
community.
involved in that.
That's right.
The whole Nashville community, the state community, almost nationwide community.
That's right. Yeah, anytime something like that happens, you're right, Bubba. That is, heck, it's worldwide. That's not just nationwide.
Probably is worldwide.
Seems to be getting a lot more common. And that's the scary side.
It is.
We'll leave it at that.
And people can say what they want, but I guess I'm entitled to my opinion. But when I went to high school right here in Bolivar, almost every truck parked out behind the football stadium, because that's where most of the guys park.
Right.
And almost every one of them had a gun rack in the back glass with 2 guns in them, normally a rifle and a shotgun.
That's right.
And half of them was not even locked.
That's right.
None of those guns ever went in that building and shot anybody.
You're
never on that parking lot.
You're right, and that's what I said earlier. In my home, we that Second Amendment, we value it pretty.
That's
well.
right.
And we know.
And they wasn't just here in Bolivar; that was across the nation.
That's right, Bob. I know it.
That's how it was in most schools
that's
across the
right.
nation.
I graduated in '78, but that's just the way it was. nobody thought anything about it.
No.
I can even remember some teachers coming out there. If we bought a new gun, they'd walk out there with us and like, man, what'd you get?
Wanna see it. Yep.
And they'd want to see the gun.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know times has changed, but it's an evil heart is what does that. That's all I'll say about that.
It's not gun control; it's controlling the gun. We'll leave it at that right there.
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, it happens, sadly, but my opinion, if you take away all the guns from legal gun owners, you know who's only one gonna have them. That's enough said on that. All right, Bubba, we got there's of course I think it happens every time this year. Well, about this time, the TWRA is taking the comments from the public about hunting proposals.
For hunting proposals
or suggestions
on the 2023-2024 hunting season.
That's exactly right.
And that's all hunting season.
Yeah, not just turkey. That's deer, squirrel, whatever you want.
Coyote, whatever.
Yep. So Keith, if you got something in mind that you would like, the way I tell people is like, they say, well, I don't know what to write. And I say, well, if you're happy with everything don't write nothing.
Right.
But if you're not, if you was head man in control and you wanted to change something, what would you like to see?
The only thing I do ask is try to think of how it would affect other aspects of other people hunting. And, most people just get laser focused on what they're doing. And sometimes how they do things might affect somebody else in the landscape doing something else.
And it's funny.
And so let's think about that.
Yeah,
too.
It's funny you mentioned that because a buddy of mine called me on the way here tonight, and he said, "Well, I have mixed feelings about the turkey season, but I can focus on my crappie a little bit more.
I
Just
agree.
for a little while longer, before I start chasing the birds real hard."
Speaking of crappie, C. Jack Deming and we've got a date with Bill Dance tomorrow. So Jesse Brooks, if you watching, I call him Bill Dance all the time, but it's Jesse Brooks with Boat Up Guide Service. We're going down to Arca Butler. We're going to make a little fishing show tomorrow for Deception Outdoors.
Y'all just go out like I always tell y'all. C. Jack calls me Motel 6. Y'all just go ahead and go fishing. I'll keep the lights on.
Well, I know. That? Well, we've been trying to get you set a date to go kill a turkey, and I know you're swamped with food plots, but you just gonna have to just sit back.
I'm gonna make a date.
Do like your wife tells you every now and then. No, you're not gonna get on a tractor today. You're gonna do
I tell you
this.
what.
There's a lot of days my wife wants me to go that.
Think about doing that food plot business. You gotta make it when it's available.
Maintain the sunshine. That's right.
You got a window opportunity. You got moisture opportunity. You better get it done. And
there'll
I
be some
understand
days it's rained all night.
And I have some time off, and we're gonna make it happen a couple times.
Okay.
I know.
Well, at least once.
Yeah.
We got to go there.
Most definitely.
So Jesse, if you watching, Jesse Dance, we're gonna see you in the morning. So, he said he was gonna put me on some 3-pounders. I've never caught a 3-pounder yet. Yeah, he said, I can't really guarantee you, but I kind of can. Yeah, I hope so. All right, Bubba, let's talk about some CWD stuff.
Yeah,
just kind of go over just some stats that things people
and there's
about.
a couple of things that's popped in my head on some of these. I think that's the majority of all the samples that are out there. I think are just about come in. But that being said, we always in the process of getting a sick deer sample.
Right, you got a call right before you came to the show today. That's why you were late getting here.
And I saw the sick deer. I just never had it was near a house, and there were some cattle, and it was sick because the same deer. So I got a call on the same deer 5 days ago. So it just never got in a good situation where I felt comfortable shooting it. So
yeah.
No, I'm
sure. I mean, does he have? Clinical signs or what you can tell?
It just,
but that don't mean it's CWD.
It doesn't mean
still.
it almost looks more bloated.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not really a CWD.
Yeah, it looks bloated. It looks I don't know what's wrong with it, but
that's kind of looks like a deer we named Medicare out there at Hickory Valley. Its stomach looked bloated, but everything else, it's a nice buck, but his neck wasn't no bigger around my forearm.
It let me get about 40 yards, which 40 yards, and I just had my pistol, but I didn't like the background. And
right.
So
no, it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Safe than sorry.
Right.
So
sure is. Well, speaking of that, you know, it looks like we got around, you know, a little over 800 CWD positive deer, you know, this year, out of like, you know, a little shy of 21,000 sampled. The good thing about it, if you can say a good thing, there was no new counties added.
There was no new counties added, and up in Henry County, where they had the one positive the previous year, they did not have a positive this year.
No, up there next to Kentucky, there were no positive in those counties.
So that's a good thing. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's good.
Just trying to do our best spin you can, given.
You know, but on the other hand, you know, as many as, you know, Hardeman and Fayette both had what it was. I know it was, it was over really, 300.
The good thing, if you're outside of Hardeman, Fayette, it's probably not negatively affected you yet, by any stretch.
Yeah, Hardeman had 374, Fayette had 358. But the two that is, and one of them wears me more than the other, is the Shelby County now is at 20. And Madison is at 18.
Yeah, both of those, you know, they could very easily be at over 50 next year. Would not surprise me.
And I'm not sure what part of Madison. You know, you and I went to a farm the other day that the line split it. I don't know exactly.
It's
in relation to that farm.
It is some close to that. I already know that.
Yeah, and there's some in the north part of Madison.
That it sure is.
And it's throughout the county. It's not just in part of the county.
Yeah.
It's just a low prevalence rate still.
But just some other things they've asked. There was 587 replacement buck tags issued. Of course, you know I got one. I know.
Yeah, like we had.
Y'all got about four.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to think. We had 4 replacements.
I mean, I can think. Today I was sitting there thinking about when I saw that. You know, I can think of about 20 right there, right around where we hunt at.
Between my farm and the neighbor, we're like 13 out of 15 positive.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And you know that's one thing. Until you get to that level, it's easy to say it doesn't affect you till you get to that level, and then when you get to that level,
when it's not in your yard, you kind of just dismiss it. But when it gets in your yard, you see it every day. And I mean, and that's one reason I always say, if you don't live here and see it like we do, you really don't have a clue what's going on.
Most people that dismiss it are not hunting in Salisbury, because if you were hunting in Salisbury,
that's right.
You know, everybody's hunting in Salisbury. Nobody dismisses it because they don't have any deer.
That's right. But on the other hand, I've got to bring it up. We got some people that dismiss it, and we know they've killed positive deer, but they act like they hadn't killed no positive deer, and they don't even think nothing about it. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. Because I've eaten CWD positive deer. If it looks healthy, I've eaten it. Some people don't do that, and that's their prerogative.
Quick one from Moose. Let me interject.
Okay.
What part of Shelby County was the CWD? You know, I don't know where all 20 positive.
I don't either.
I don't know.
We just know so far not any's been in President's Island.
There's not been a positive taken from President Island
as of yet.
And they check every deer
harvested.
Yeah. Every deer harvested.
Now, the sad thing about that, the deer density down there, and from we had the guest on, you know, talking about it, and Kenny Leopard, you know, when he was on here, if it does hit down there, trust me, it'll be just as bad as it was in Fayette and Hardeman.
About that, what happens is they can be spread out when they have the agriculture fields all in cover, but when they take all the agriculture fields out, it can concentrate them.
That's right.
Man, that's not a good thing down there.
So for right now, and then how many did they test in January, February, 2025?
So just roundabout.
Yeah. So, and they hadn't, that's just what was killed after season.
Yeah.
But
I think the reality is it's going to show up on President's Island. We just don't know when. You know,
I think it's going to be sooner than later, in my opinion. Or we could be wrong. We thought it was going to McNary the very next year, and it took 3.
But I think within a couple of years, it have to be probably a good chance of being a positive at President's Island.
As fast as Shelby is getting them, up to 20. Because you know how long it took us to get that, you know, and then. You know,
anytime I make a future prediction on CWD, I'm always hoping I'm wrong.
Oh, me too. Me too.
You know, I like to come back and say, Bubba, you're wrong. I'm like, man, that'd be great.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
You know, we hope all the time it don't cross the Tennessee River or go east of the Tennessee River, but it already is in Alabama. Mm-hmm. It's already east of the Tennessee River.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm shocked. I never did find out who won the Lifetime in Wayne County.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was hoping to.
And
find
also,
that out.
they said any CWD targeted removals being done, and they are. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that.
I did have the
data on
numbers,
some of that,
and
some of the.
but I know. I think it had been. I may be wrong, but the last number I think I heard was 47 or something.
Yeah,
And not any had tested positive. All were processed and all were donated.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. So the meat is not wasted. I know it was some taken Chester County, Madison County.
Yeah,
and,
maybe Haywood. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Really, Chester and Madison's the only two that I heard
Okay.
that I could recall at
Okay.
this time. But it could have been more. Is that all we got on CWD that you want to
Yeah,
talk about right
I think
now?
So yeah.
Okay. And like I say, I know we told you, but if y'all do have any questions, starting tonight, we're going to do a new giveaway. Don't know what it is yet. We got some people that donated stuff. We're going to try to get some hats in, but we're going to start trying to give a few more things away. So
Yeah, I think if we get a really nice Tennessee Outside baseball cap, I think it'd be a big hit.
well, I tell you, the ones Brian Hartford made, I talked to Brian today. Those crappie addict hats, they are the best wearing. I love those caps.
Yeah, we need to try to get that going.
Yeah, that's what we're going to try to do.
And t-shirts.
Well, yeah, everybody
Yeah,
wants
we
to-
got it. And we're
yeah.
going to try to work on some T-shirts too. Okay, another thing about CWD, like I say, it's 887 replacement buck tags issued. It was a little over $875 incentive vouchers was issued.
And those vouchers are nice.
Yeah,
we
they
gave one
are.
away on the show.
We sure did.
And I used them myself because
Yeah.
I had another farm that was in the north part of the county.
Yeah.
That I could go to harvest some does.
Yeah.
I had a family member go out there and harvest me some does and use those to
That's
get
right.
to get some deer meat.
I mean, I gave mine away, and I mean, I know
Yeah.
several people that gave them away. But I mean, if you're not going to use them, I mean, they go over to the next year. They don't expire as of right now. They don't. Not going to say that won't happen later because I guess right now we really don't know what the future of testing is going to be.
Well,
You may have a little insight on
the
it.
good thing about it, we tested 20,000, almost 21,000 deer. Then that's really good. I think the only state that does more than us is Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Now that being said, that costs a lot of money.
Yes.
That costs a lot of money, a lot of manpower, and I just don't know if we can
Sustain it.
how long you can sustain that degree of
I mean,
money
I know
spending on that.
the only
unless-
reason that states are doing it now is the federal funding.
Yeah, and
that
so-
comes in, and I don't know how long the federal funding is going to keep
right.
coming in.
and I don't know exactly how what we get or not. I'm not sure on
Yeah.
that. All I know is that it's a strain on the budget
Right.
to get 21,000 deer
Right.
tested.
Well, I
There's
know
no doubt.
when they do the farm bill, in D.C.,
Yeah.
that they allocate. Okay, they don't really break it down by states at that time. They say, okay, it's going to be X number of dollars for CWD in the farm bill,
Yeah.
and then after that, that's when it gets broke up. But I don't know if it's a percentage of CWD in that state. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it
anything
wasn't
about
for that farm bill grant, and I just my opinion, I wonder what people are going to do if they, if they say, okay,
if the state doesn't provide
if the
testing.
state doesn't provide the testing,
And,
what's it going to go to?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because you and I
mean,
both know people that won't eat one unless unless it's been
absolutely.
tested.
and there's some people that don't, that would, but there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
want that deer tested.
That's
and I'm
right.
really one of them.
Oh, I know you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, because I know when I killed that sick deer, Bubba said, I'm not even going to touch it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
Has there
really-
been any thought or any plans into maybe some self-testing that you know of?
Well, you'd have to send it to a lab.
You have to. There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have to be done maybe from a processor standpoint or a taxidermy
Blood
standpoint.
can't pick it up. You know.
No, oh no.
no.
No,
And they had talked about,
And the thing about
2 or
it-
3 years ago that they wish in the future it was 100 field tests
Yeah,
for it, but
man,
I think
that's
we're a long ways from that.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. That's why we got to go to those specific lymph nodes because that's the first place you can detect it.
Yeah.
So that, and that's why we get a lot of deer that appear healthy that have it.
That's
because
right.
that's the easiest and the first place where it's concentrated to test it. And so, I think having a field test is going to be reliable. I don't think that's anywhere in the near future.
I totally agree.
And I don't even know if it's in the future.
Ever.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't even know if it's in the future. I think it's.
But I just know the way now other counties may look at it different, but I know you and I both, we've seen the mindset here in Hardin County. Of course, Keith Haywood is starting, Haywood County is starting to show up pretty good too. But it's I think if a lot of people, if it's not tested, period, they're just not going to eat it.
They're not going to eat it.
And a lot of people are not going to pay for it to get tested.
Right.
Because depending on how that pay works out, because like you said, Bo, it's not cheap to get them tested.
And there's only a few labs in the country that can reliably do that type of testing.
That's right.
And so I don't.
And those labs are trying to take care of multiple states.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. And the thing about it, so many of our seasons are so close, they just get overrun and boom at the same time.
Yep.
And, and even last year there were supply chain issues getting
the material needed to do the test.
Mm-hmm.
It sure was.
Man, there were staffing issues as far as just.
That's why it still hadn't, all the tests hadn't come back yet.
As in most places that are looking for qualified workers, there were staffing issues, and just things that are just the realities
that basically every other business is dealing with right now.
Every other business is dealing with. So,
and speaking of that, just like my FedEx package today, I go ahead because I'm still kind of hacked about that. I was supposed to get a FedEx package from Deception Outdoors, just like you got yours today, right?
Mine today also.
Chris, Jack, and Courtney got theirs yesterday, and I thought, I even called Janet last night. I said,
you sent me a message.
Yeah, did you too? I said, you get your package today? And I asked Janet, I said, go look out and see if you got a package for me at her house. And this morning I go down the driveway. It's laying down in the woods between my levee and the highway, and it was 2 or 3 feet away. If the wind blew it off, it would have blown down about a 20-foot straight down embankment. I'd have never found that package.
Right.
So
going back to that testing, and for somebody to just say, just make a field test, man, it's just not that simple.
No.
It's just not that simple.
No, it's really not.
I just don't foresee that even remotely happening.
No. And I think the only other thing I was going to bring up about that, and I may have, there were 3,643 earn a buck tags issued. Now, Bubba, the way they earned the buck tag was?
Harvest antlerless deer and get it tested.
That's right, antlerless deer and got it tested.
And we did, there at the end on some of the does that we took, we got them tested, but we weren't going for another buck. We just wanted them tested.
That's exactly right. Yeah, because it was quite a bit of that. I know, out there where I hunt, we took, 10 off that place. And I think 7 of them come back positive.
I think we took 4 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I had a neighbor, and I know I've mentioned this, but my next door neighbor had 1 positive.
Yeah.
Really?
That was scary.
Yeah.
And on one of my Haywood County farms.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
It's coming to a farm near you, Bubba.
Yes,
I can just tell you that right now. Yes, hey, let's go ahead and I can't believe it's already this time right here.
And we got a couple of questions when we come back.
Okay.
We'll get these questions.
Hey, Apex Outdoor Rewards. Apex is our premier sponsor, and they're doing the Spring Turkey Challenge. I talked to JD yesterday. We'll try to get Wade to come on the show here in the next couple of weeks. But if you enter, you get this turkey tool right here. I couldn't find mine, so C-Jack let me borrow his. And I'll go ahead and just give you a little hint. This is what the Tennessee Outside short clip is going to be on tomorrow. We scored a turkey in here tonight and showed you how to score it, and we used the Apex turkey tool on that. But
to weigh them, it does everything.
Yes, it weighs them and it measures them, and it's pretty cool. But Apex they're in the following states this year for the Spring Turkey Challenge: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. And you can sign up right now. When you sign up, they're doing weekly giveaways, and they're giving away some nice stuff. They reduced the entry fee from $125 to $75. And if it's your first time entry, you also get this too with it. It's pretty cool. You can even use this thing as a toter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
throw it right over your shoulder. You can use it as a toter also. But you can go to apexoutdoorrewards.com to sign up for that. Hey, Deception Scent. Now, I can't say enough about them, but they have a complete line of scent eliminating products: Pure Marine, Deception Scent, Pure RV, Fast Gas and every version, Pure 100. And if you would, Keith, just show some of the calls that come in our care package right here.
Absolutely. Let me get. I can see them.
Yeah, is that the Ridge Cutter and the Screamer, I think?
Let me flip it over. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, the heart attack.
Heart attack, yeah. And then 6 different or 4 different mouth calls. Yeah, and this is a new slate. Y'all heard me playing with it earlier tonight. But this is the new Deception MK call. And don't be surprised if you don't start seeing this in Walmart here before long.
Yeah.
But it's beaded glass. You ain't got to sand it or anything. They got the calls, but Parrish has knocked it out of the park on some. And, of course, he's come up with some new ones, too.
Oh, he has.
You know, I don't know how many more of the last call 2023s it is out there. They're only making 150 of them. So they had, I think, 40-something, I think, already in reserves, you know, before they ever put it out there. But if you're interested in that, which I love it, you know, they made it a different color this year. But you can go to deceptionoutdoorgroup.com. I believe that's what it is. Bill Dance endorses the Pure Marine. You can get it at Amazon. You can also go just to the Deception Outdoor page to get it. But it's some good stuff. So tomorrow, when we're down there with Bill Dance, we're going to be talking about some Pure Marine. Jesse Brooks said he's going to kill me. He said, man, quit calling me that. Quit calling me that.
I may be going to look at using some of it in my planters and stuff to, you know, for bacteria.
That's exactly right. Hey, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, go to www.tnwildlife.org for information, and be sure to follow TWRA on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And just reading that reminds me, I think they're going to open up 2 new zones for 2 more elk tags. I think one of them is for a gun, one of them is for archery, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Larry Ray, everybody knows Larry Ray's in the Hall of Fame of, like, you know, does a radio show. We even had him on our show before, but he tags me on a lot of stuff, and that was one of the things. They added 2 tags to the elk draw this year.
Okay.
3-way processing. It's hard to believe. Keith and I both talked to him today. He said, man, did y'all both talk to each other today? I said, no, because we called to David about 5 minutes apart.
Yeah.
But David is working on a spot. He met with the Department of Agriculture yesterday, and I think he's got to meet with the Zoning Commission in Madison County here in the next few days. But he's hoping to secure a spot out by the airport, and as soon as he does and gets everything, then he's going to come on the show, because he's hoping to be able to do a lot more than just deer processing.
That's right.
And we hope so too, David. Sure do.
Maybe you can get through the red tape and make it happen.
Yep, that's it.
All right, here we go. You ready for me?
Yep.
All right, we have Baker Glass Shop. Stop by and see Corey Madden for all your glass needs. Auto, big trucks, heavy machinery. Contact Corey at 731-658-4510, and he is located at 321 East Market Street here in Bolivar, Tennessee. Second Amendment Outdoors, your one-stop shopping for all your outdoor needs: guns, ammo, fishing tackle, clothes, boots, and much more. Mark Austin and his great staff will take good care of you. Contact Mark at 662-594-8687. And they're located at 2804A Highway 72 West in Corinth, Mississippi. Pardon me. Big Hill Pond Boat Sales and Repair. Go see Kenny Fortune for all your boating needs, sales or repair. He also has firearms and fishing tackle. Contact Kenny at 731-645-4384. And the address for that is 9282 Highway 57 in Raymer, Tennessee. Snipe Creek, Western Kentucky Outfitters. Big shout out to them. They're a major contributor to the Brad Deming Bike Fund and have been for several years. We always like to give them a big shout out. We have the Lynn Hurst Family Resort. Lynn Hurst is located on the Blood River and inlet of Kentucky Lake. You can stay at one of their cabins, condos, in a motel, or at one of their campsites. They also have pontoons, jet skis, and golf rentals. Book by calling Dennis Helmuth at 270-436-2345 or 606-341-3399. We have Prime One Camo, the ultimate concealment solutions for the outdoorsman or woman that need to blend into their surroundings. Go to primeonecamo.com and check out all their products. Their 20% off code is HERO1. Then you have myself, which is Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services. You can reach me at 731-780-4868 or 731-780-6426. And as always, we offer a full line of food plot, whatever needs you have, whether it's a full turnkey food plot job, or if I just need to come seed, or I need to do a soil sample, whatever you need, just give me a call. We're pretty booked up. I have to keep that spring weather in mind, and I'm not saying I'm 100% booked, but I need to make sure that there's some space, there's a gap there that I can make sure that all my promises are kept.
Well, I've just got to ask another question. Okay, a lot of people may or may not know you and I both, along with Chris Jack, Courtney Smalley, Parrish Elliott, Chris Barnett, and Chase Gregg. We're going to start doing a nationwide show at starting the end of June.
That's right.
Wildlife Food Plot Services, probably going to be a sponsor on there.
Absolutely.
So you're going to have satellite businesses in other states.
Well, I don't know about that, but look, I have actually just about a month and a half ago, I had a landowner from New Jersey contact me.
Really?
And we spoke on and off there for a couple weeks, getting some stuff prepared for them through the phone. Look, I don't mind. Give me a call if you have a question.
That's just part of the consulting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
And that's a different time period too.
Yeah,
to be doing
it sure is.
So and look, if I don't know the answer, I will tell you I don't know the answer, but I will do everything I can to help you out. So feel free to call myself or Anthony, and we'll do everything we can to help you out.
Yeah. Hey, and we'll remind everybody too. Of course, I know you talked about Big Hill Pond boat sales, but if this is time of year. Hopefully, you done got your boating in good running shape, because I'm telling you, the fish are fixing to turn on. They already have turned on in a lot of places, but the best is yet to come. So if your boat's not running, you better go down there and see Kenny pretty quick right now. And then back about our show, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Going to be on the Hunt Channel, 30-minute show. We got a couple sponsors lined up. We're looking for a couple more. But I think that's going to be a good deal.
It's going to be a good deal. I was asked to kind of do some video footage of some of the food plot stuff, and get some episodes done about that, and hopefully if anything else, it'll help educate some of these hunters.
Well, I know we had the fishing magician, Great Lake Salmon Steelhead Charters reach out to Courtney Smalley, and then wants her to come up and said bring your film crew and stuff, and so. C. Jack Demon and I were going up in July.
That's awesome.
And he's putting us up. Hopefully we can get some good stuff, and maybe talk to him about being a sponsor on there too, because he's got 5 boats and voted the top Lake Michigan charter 2 years in a row. So
that's great. Well, if anybody out there has a business you'd love to have featured on the show, let us know. We have sponsorship packages, and it's going to be seen by a lot of people.
Yes, because I know on the Hunt Channel they said I think we had the most views of any of the new shows.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a 30-minute show. It's going to be a designated time every week on a certain day. So
full commercials,
that's
sponsorship.
That's right. Yeah.
Slots.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward. But we maybe get you on one of them shows.
Maybe one of these days.
All right. Let's talk about these questions right here.
Let's just go right down through.
Okay. Here's one from Jason Ellen. What did the deer score? I posted that. It scored 147 and 4/8.
4/8.
Yeah, and Kenneth Darling guessed 147 and 1/8, so he won.
And I'm hoping that deer is going to maybe show up on our set in the future.
I got to take it to Rixie if he can get it, because Greg said, hey, take it to Rixie, let him clean it up, and let it hang. He said, y'all can hang it on the set. And that is a very unique deer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And you didn't know until the last show when you showed that actually you knew where it came from.
I knew it came from this county. We didn't realize it coming as close to where Bubba and I both hunt.
Yeah, I had no idea it was right over there.
Yeah, and I really wish somebody would come forward that maybe saw it, got a trail cam. I'd love to see it on a deer.
We had somebody contact me, but they had one similar to it, but it
wasn't in that area?
No, it's 15 miles away.
Okay.
So, another question we have from Randy Walls. Are flotation devices required to be worn by minors when the boat is in motion? In Tennessee, yes, they are if they're 12 or younger.
12 or younger if the boat is moving. Let me ask you, what if it's just trolling motor power? Still got to have it on?
That's power.
It's moving.
Yeah.
And if it's by sale,
It's moving.
that's moving. Okay. So basically, unless it's anchored out,
Well, it could be drifting. You'd be fine.
drifting's fine. Okay.
Drifting's fine, but not under power.
Not by power under anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you, in our boat, I hated to butt in, but we have grandkids with us. They're on them until we take them off the boat when we shore.
Yeah, that's right.
When we beach, and then even then with the smaller ones, they
Make
don't
sure,
come
yeah,
off,
yeah.
so they can't run out.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
All right, here's one. Will TWRA ever allow nighttime predator hunting? Well, Robert, I'll tell you about this is because, I've been to the commission meetings. That's going to be totally up to the commission, not TWRA. It's going to be up to the commission. But I will say, you can already nighttime predator depredate. That's all I'll say on that. It falls under the Department of Agriculture. But, there's specific things you can go by, and we have beat that horse to death on this show, on Facebook, in commission meetings. So I'm not going to go down there, but check it out, and you can do what you got to do. I'll just say it like that.
All right, we're going to another question. Why does a person fishing in a john boat have to be registered when a person in kayak fishing does not? Well,
that's not necessarily true.
Not necessarily true. Nothing to do with if they're fishing or not. If a boat has sail power or motorized power, it has to be registered.
Whether it be trolling motor or outboard or anything.
And that's the same with a kayak. If it has a motor on it,
that's right.
It has to be registered.
So you could be in a john boat and you're just sculling around, because when I go to sloughs, that's what I do.
That's right.
You do not have to have it registered. And if anybody told you that, then they told you wrong. In Tennessee.
As long as you're sculling, you're fine.
That's exactly right. As long as you're sculling, you can put that baby in and go. And it ain't got to be a 10-footer, 12-footer. You can put a 20-footer in. If you can scull it around, you do.
Or you could drift around if you wanted to.
That's right.
And that's inexpensive insurance to make sure that you don't get a ticket while you're out there anyway.
That's right.
It's not very expensive to get your registration.
No, it's not.
So,
all right, I've got one other, and this one's for you.
Okay. What was the temperature that I look for prime time for catching crappie? Well, Moose, I'm going to tell you, in this area around here, it's been prime time for 2 months. I'll just tell you, most of the crappie they're going to spawn anywhere from 60 to 65 degrees is what they're going to spawn at. Sometimes your black crappie, they're going to spawn earlier. They may start spawning 56 degrees. Because this is the first year ever in my life there were crappie spawning in Hardeman County the end of February this year. I have never seen that anywhere in this state. But the way you can always tell, when you catch those crappie and you lift them up and they're as black as the screen is on my phone, what that is, that's a male crappie that has fertilized eggs already. It's a hormonal change in the male, and he'll turn jet black like that. And I saw that this year on like February 24th, I believe it was. I've never seen that in February. You don't even hardly see it in March. If you do, it's toward the end of March. But Moose, right now is prime time. I'm just going to tell you.
Moose also wanted to remind people, to always wear a kill switch.
Yeah. Oh yes. And and that would have, probably saved a lot about what's going on Tussa River right now.
So it's always good to have that kill switch attached to you. Yep.
All right, is that all the questions, Bubba?
We're caught up on questions and comments right now.
All right. One of the proposed changes that was in the commission meeting was changes for the commercial fishing.
Yep.
Coming up. You want to talk about some of that?
I don't know exactly all the details, but there's a silver carp and paddlefish from mile markers 7:15 to 7:45 on the Tennessee River.
No, Mississippi.
I'm sorry, on the Mississippi River. I was jumping ahead. Use of 5-inch mesh gill nets on Pickwick to help battle silver carp.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So,
and of course, so it's a 30-mile stretch that they are proposing to open up to commercial fishing for carp and paddlefish. The paddlefish kind of surprised me. Those things are always kind of protected.
Yeah.
Can't catch but 2.
Yeah.
And but. And a lot of the thing about the Mississippi River, too, a lot of those fish aren't fit for human consumption. And I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Man, yeah. About anywhere in Shelby County.
I think the Wolf River, everywhere in Shelby County, advisory. You're not supposed to eat any fish out of there.
Advisory.
Well, just
for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, it's a bunch of reasons.
Yeah.
It sure is. They don't, and I mean,
well, there's an advisory like maybe you not squeeze so much of it, or
I think on the wolf,
pregnant
if I'm
women
not
are
mistaken,
supposed to
it's they don't recommend eating any.
Okay.
And then
I
there
was trying to
is
think
some places that where
McKellar and some
they
of
only
those.
recommend eating like no more than 2 fish. And then like for pregnant women and kids, they don't recommend eating any ever out of certain lakes. And a lot of lakes that people may not think about that's on the list is Beach Lake. Beach Lake has a thing on there about I think it's bass if I'm not mistaken. Some lakes it's catfish, some lakes it's bass. And the bass kind of surprised me. I can see the catfish because most of your heavy metals fall to the bottom, which, catfish are bottom feeders. But there's parts of Kentucky Lake that they've got marked off, you're at the boat ramps, you're not supposed to eat any bass out of them.
Think about our human footprint on the area, and especially in Middle Tennessee and East Tennessee.
Gosh.
But it's getting this way in West Tennessee, especially in Shelby County. We're just so many people and so many activities going on. It's just hard on our waterways to try to keep them clean and keep them healthy.
So I know used to in some of the old fishing guides, they'd have a breakdown of every lake, and I mean it would be a whole page in Tennessee where there was advisories of the contaminants. A lot of them's mercury. I mean it's a whole lot of them.
And you go to some of those lakes in Middle Tennessee, just the trash.
Oh, God,
and the runoffs in them are just...
My buddy, Brandon Dowdy and Dayton Blair with Southern Woods and Water.
Man, it's just...
Dayton can go off on a rant because... But it's the same way around here in the best place. A lot of people don't know, if you're on the interstate or something, you'll go through parts of the interstate and says you are now entering, the
watershed.
The Beach River watershed part, or, the Cumberland River watershed or something like that. And there's a like the Forked Deer, there's a Hatchie River watershed. But like in Hardeman County, I think except until you get down towards Hickory Valley and Grand Junction south of there, everything in Hardeman County flows into Hatchie River. Yeah. Every little runoff creek.
Gets it.
But it's someplace down around on that end. It goes to the Wolf.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Yeah, and but most of the county, but you can tell. I hate to say it, but right there. Right upriver from the boat dock on 18, where you put your boats in, that's really a river run. That's not the actual river, but when the river's up, Bubba, and I know you've noticed that trash piles up right there.
Yeah, just constant.
Well, the Hatchie's not involved in that so far. Well, that might explain what's wrong with me, I guess.
I don't know. I don't. Now, I know one time back when there was a chemical spill in Harmon one time, they issued some stuff because I remember my dad had to go to Jackson testify on that one.
Yeah.
But we got issues in the Hatchie. Some of those sand creeks just throwing some major sand deposits.
You're like me, Bubba. A lot of times people think about changes the way the flow of the river, what creates Oxbow or Island. You think about that happens over thousands of years. But in my lifetime, because I've been on the Hatchie since I was 5 years old and I'm 62 now, I've seen several changes on the Hatchie.
And the thing about the Hatchie's protected, but not all the. We've got a lot of ditches that are coming into it that have been changed over time, and so some of those are putting a lot of sand in it on some of these big rains we have.
So you think, and I'm just saying this is hypothetical, because I know at one time they were wanting to do a little dredging, and they stopped that because of the
Scenic River stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Would that help resolve some of that?
Probably be a short-term fix.
It would.
That probably wouldn't work in the long term.
And this is just my opinion. One of the things, used to years ago in the early 1900s, it was steamboats that went up down the Hatchie from the Mississippi River to bring all kind of products and stuff up. Right. That's the way these little towns were stocked, for years. And of course, it wasn't as wide then in some places, but it was deeper. Well, I mean, the invention of the outboard motor. I mean, to me, is one of the. You got farmland stuff and silt running in, which a lot of farmers now no-till.
That's right.
But the outboard motor, when you're going up and you're flying, to me, that probably contributed just as much as anything.
I don't know.
because the way the waves wash into the bank,
right.
and then when it comes back down, it's eroding the bank.
I see your point. Never thought about that.
Also in the Hatchie, was talking about pollution and things, the changes in the Hatchie, it wasn't that long ago. Well, man, there'd be people out there catching frogs, and we just don't have the frogs on the landscape
That's
for
right.
a variety of reasons.
We did it so often when I was young.
And that was some of the most fun I've ever had on the Hatchie.
That's right.
Was at night.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was some good fun.
Yeah.
Good time.
Well, I know too. I can remember as a kid, if you come from Hardeman County, where the Grinnell Pond is, down between 64 and 18. I can remember going down there with my dad. I mean, the ramp would be plumb full when the brim was bedding, and you would pull in there, and the only thing you was hear was be an occasional paddle up against a boat or a fish flopping in one.
Yeah.
You didn't hardly hear no talking because everybody's going, "No, don't say like you don't want to spook the brim
That's
from them beds off,"
Yeah.
And I'll never forget one time I hung up. I had one of those, round floaters on there, and I set the hook, and it come back, and it popped me right between the eyes, probably about 6 or 7 years old. Of course, I remember I started crying. My dad took his belt off and beat my butt. Now you got something to cry about. Be quiet. We got to catch brim.
I had a good comment from Pete Boyd that Dale Hollow and Center Hill Lake were on the contaminated fish list last year. So they got added on last year. And I'm afraid we'll have more and more of our lakes be.
I believe in Middle Tennessee because I've been up there, and I mean those lakes up there are as crowded as at night as they are around here in daytime.
We just have more and more people in Tennessee and more boats, which is a good thing. But man, there is just crowded and crowded.
Well,
it just takes away.
It's so many people. You look at Davidson County, and you look at now. It's kind of like Davidson County's full, so everybody's expanding out, and they're going to Wilson, Rutherford County, all in there.
And we're going to follow suit not soon after Blue Oval gets going.
I wouldn't doubt that.
We're going to be in the same boat that they are in 10 years, if not sooner.
That's right. Because it's hard to believe that basically the population of our county is about the same as it was in the 70s.
It's very similar.
Of course, you lost the tannery in Harmon, which was 2,000 employees right there. So, I mean, that hurt a lot, too. What you got there, Bo?
Randy's having a stroke. Now to answer that.
Okay.
Can flotation devices be in storage areas unaccessible? Best.
They cramp
All
over the place. It cramps things up.
Yeah. The law says they have to be accessible, but they can be where you can open up and get them.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain restrictions, like below the dam, where it's required to wear.
Yeah, adults and everybody. That's right.
But the flotation device can be in a storage area as long as it's easily accessible.
That's right.
And that just means if you can open it up and get it, that's usually
So, Randy, it's like, if you come down, me, you, and C-Jack went fishing, as long as I've got 3 in the live well, dry well, I don't use it as a live well anymore, then we're legal.
Yeah.
But it's certain areas, and like I say, if it's a child 12 and under, it's got to be wearing.
Well, let me just tell you, like, Randy, when I pull up, and this is what most game wardens in Tennessee do, if I pull up to a boat, the first thing I'm going to do is see if your registration's good by looking at it. Then I'm going to ask everybody to grab a hold of a life jacket and hold it up. That way I don't have to count them. Everybody has it.
That's right.
Make sure that it's all the appropriate sizes for everybody. Fire extinguisher if they need it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, let's talk about fire extinguishers. What's that requirement?
16 and over, or inside enclosed.
So even if it's outdoor motor, if it's 16 and over, you got to have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants to know if that's a safe law. Is that a safe law?
Well, it's kind of like smoking, Randy. Smoking's not safe for you, brother, but people do it. You know.
And that's the pro.
It's kind of like people that don't wear life jackets and they end up and drown.
Common knowledge would tell you that if it's sitting beside you or you have it on, it's a lot safer.
Yeah.
But
But having it on is by far the safest.
Right.
And if it's 16 and over, you got to have a throwable too.
You have to have a throwable. But that being said, Randy, that there's a degree that having a life jacket in there, if an incident happened, probably is not going to do you good.
Yeah, because
it's probably not going to do you
if it happened, most incidents happen so quick.
Yeah.
That you're not going to be able to grab one on the way out. I can just tell you from personal experience.
Yeah. Usually when accidents occur, you don't have time to.
That's
grab
right.
one.
Yeah.
And the reason we want a throwable is if there is another it's not for that boat, it's for you to get it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever tried to throw a life jacket, but you can't hardly throw.
No,
Right.
And those throw cushions, you can do them fairly
Right. You
fairly
can kind
good.
of frisbee them
You can
halfway
sort of
decent.
frisbee them halfway
Yeah.
decent to get them fairly.
And I
close.
mean, and if you could get one out there, I mean, if a person grabs a hold of it,
Yeah.
at least it'll keep them up enough
That
that
they-
they can breathe as long as they haven't gone into panic mode.
Yeah, and going back to this, unfortunately, we're going to probably be talking about it, and
Well, we
have
know that.
something else
I hate
come
it.
up, and I just
And because really the prime season hadn't gotten here
haven't
yet,
gotten here. Yeah,
and the first holiday, Memorial
Memorial
Day,
Day
happened.
sort of the kickoff.
That's
And
exactly
we're still
right.
a pretty good ways from that.
Yeah,
you know,
they sure are. Yeah, it seemed like turkey season, man. We was all pumped up 6 weeks ago, and it's still not here.
It's still not here.
She's want to creep in here real bad.
I know.
got a
All right,
frost
it's
warning.
7:56.
We got to draw.
It's the time for that. Keith, you reach in there and pull one.
I'll do it.
Pull
I'll do
one,
it.
hand it to me. I'll read it out.
Sounds good. I'm going to go to
Close
the
your
bottom.
eyes.
Look now.
He couldn't
Close your eyes. Reach
reach.
down here and get it. I'm not going to let you see your name.
He can't even
I
see
can't
where.
right here.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, left-handed. Okay, let me dig through there.
Oh, what we got?
I think I
Drum
have
roll.
one.
Okay. It is going to be
Who gets the call?
Bruce Phillips.
Bruce Phillips.
Bruce Phillips.
All right.
Bruce, I think, is the man that runs the Crappie Cats and Bass page that we shared too.
Okay.
Bruce
Awesome.
also won a Crappie Addict shirt from
Did
us.
he?
So we
sure
have-
did.
I think
Mad.
his address still.
I think. But Bruce, if you're watching, I think Janet's probably still got your address. But Bruce won the call. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Bruce. That's a nice call.
Yeah.
it's a
Nice
good
call.
I think it was like 200 something names in there.
I don't know if we can let Bruce win anything else. That's a
I know.
two-time winner.
He's our first two-time winner, that's
yeah,
for sure.
I don't know about that,
But
though.
here, Janet, you can hold that up over there just for if anybody kind of just wants to see it.
Well, let me tell you,
Bruce Phillips.
We have a safety drawing at work, and I'll make this real quick. They draw once a month. 27 years before I won it, they drew 2 in one day, and I won them both.
Oh, really?
It took 27
I know,
years. I just
sometimes.
find every time they start drawing, I just sit there.
Sit there,
like,
you're
I
out.
am worthless. And then they called me twice.
That's kind of like me back when I was working at Tanner's, a Super Bowl pot. It paid at the end of 4 quarters. I won 3 of the 4. And the
did
score was different every
Every
time,
time,
but
yeah.
I won 3 of the 4. Yeah, I sure did. I think
I
it
had
paid
UConn, by the way.
$250 a time. Okay.
I don't think anybody got the basketball bracket right. I think
No,
I
I
don't think
don't.
anybody got that
I
right.
I drew UConn, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, another thing, we got a couple minutes, but I know I done told y'all, but we should have done a contest on it, but they could go and look it up like I did.
Yeah.
The largest turkey ever recorded. Blowed my mind.
oh my gosh.
86-pound
Tame
turkey.
turkey.
Now, that wasn't a wild turkey. That was just turkey in general.
But still,
Yes, 86-pound turkey. And it was in London in 1989, and it sold in a charity auction for $6,692. The largest Osceola on record that I could find is 27 pounds. The largest Gould's turkey is 29.37. The largest Merriam, 31.56. The largest Rio Grande was 37.12. And the eastern bird killed in Kentucky, 37.61 pounds.
It just,
Now, can you imagine a 37-pound bird walking up to you?
well,
big
you know,
bird.
the thing is you see that bird, and he was
Yeah, he weighed
26
26
pounds.
He weighed 26 pounds.
Could you? And he looks like he ought to weigh 50.
yeah, he's a pretty big bird.
Imagine.
Yeah, but them Wayne County birds are always bigger than birds around here, most of them. What you got, Janet?
Okay. Back to the flotation device.
Oh.
Okay.
Randy says, so should the law be to wear one while the boat is in motion? And Stacy Swift said, ask Bubba, as many deaths that is happening on the big rivers, would TWRA require wearing a life vest while running?
You know,
I think
that
that's my personal.
that
I think
that's
on
good.
Corps Engineer Lakes in Mississippi, if it's under power, everybody has to wear one. I think that's. I don't know if that's statewide, but I know it is on the Corps of Engineer Lakes.
Yeah, you know, those are both valid points.
I agree.
And I don't know what the future is going to hold.
I mean, to me, that is
the
something,
regulations on
that's something the commission ought to tackle, in my opinion.
boy.
You don't wear it?
Well, I understand
I mean,
that.
that's
I'm just
at the end
thinking
of the day,
of. I'm
it's
just
kinda
thinking
like
of.
a seat
It's
belt.
kind of like seat yours. That's exactly took
But
the
you
word
know,
out
I
of my
can
mouth.
also see, man, if I start writing everybody on the river that not have a life jacket on, man, they're gonna be.
You
But
need
that's
you
just
need
part of the job at the
12
same
pack
time.
of pins.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
it can make a lot of people mad.
Yeah.
But
The other thing
at
is
the
you
same
can't
time,
legislate
but we
common
can't.
sense.
Well, some of it's common sense, but some of it's also, you know, personal preference. You know, anybody can put a life jacket on. There's
That's
no law
right.
against it.
That's right.
It's so. How many times have we been on the boat and somebody not have a life jacket on?
Now, jet ski, things like that, you're required to.
just-
What, actually? So, well, I mean, yeah, jet skis you are, but like if you're on an inner tube or something, you don't have to.
Yeah. So, you know, it's just one of those. Do we
Not behind my
mandate safety at that level? And we might have to. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Well, you remember how much flack it was when they made this seatbelt law?
Oh yeah.
Which you got people now that they still won't wear one.
Well, I wear mine faithfully.
Oh,
Yeah,
me
I
too.
did too.
It's,
I just
Me
and,
too.
and when it became a habit,
man, I don't even think about it.
No.
Yeah, after a while.
That same way.
And I'm almost that way when I go to the river, just because I've got nice life jackets that fit good.
That's right.
And they're not uncomfortable, and it makes that makes a big
yeah,
difference.
yeah, we
If you have nice life jackets.
that's right. And
Yeah.
It may cost a little more money, but
Yeah.
it is worth buying one that fits proper and is a nice.
Yeah.
Nice to wear.
If you're gonna wear it because it fits good, get one that's gonna fit good.
Yeah.
If it's not uncomfortable, if it's uncomfortable, you're not gonna wear it.
Not
it's
gonna work.
worthless.
And
Yeah,
you can get the little light ones like I wear that
That's
you can
right.
you can pull the cord. And the one I got, it say if I'm
Yeah.
I'm
I've got
knocked
both of
out,
them.
once I fall in, it activates
And
itself.
I've got the other ones that just really fit tight to your chest and
Yes.
your back, and then you can just snug them down and just
You know,
almost like some
the
of
old
them.
style we grew up with, which I mean probably one of the safest ones. Yeah, they're bulky, but they're gonna keep your neck out of the water
Yeah.
just about.
Tell Bruce he just won. He just got on.
All right,
He
Bruce.
T-ball practice with the kids.
Well, you've got the call or had it, Bruce. You won our Tennessee Outside Parrish Elliott Custom Pot Call.
Bruce Phillips.
Yep, Bruce Phillips, and you won it.
Congratulations.
And it's signed by all of us. It's only 6 of them made, and only us 4 right here, and Courtney, and Bruce got the 6th one. So, well, all right, that's gonna wrap us up. We run over 2 or 3 minutes, but hey, we appreciate it. All of our viewers and sponsors and the Facebook groups.
Appreciate the comments and man, a lot of times we just sort of go with the flow of the show
Yeah.
based
There's
on the
some things
comments.
We still didn't even.
No, I
talk
know we
about
didn't even
that.
get
That's
everything.
That's a great thing.
And especially the folks out of state, man, when you see a comment like, man, I wish our state did stuff like that. I mean, it makes us feel good. And for anybody, if y'all got something y'all want us to do a show on, especially this time of year. Of course, I know we got turkey season coming up, but hey, I mean, if it involves the outdoors, it don't have to be Tennessee. We'll talk about
Oh
it.
yeah, all aspects are outside.
That's exactly
Being
right.
outside.
All right, Keith, you got any final words,
No,
brother?
Just keep Nashville and the families in your prayers.
Yes.
Exactly right.
Well, let's end on that.
Yeah. And then go to YouTube, subscribe, and look for our Tennessee Outside short clip that Janet will be posting in the morning, and she will be posting this show on YouTube. And tell your friends about us, too, if you don't mind. We greatly appreciate it. Y'all tune in next Tuesday. We'll see y'all then. Thanks. Bye.